Hey.
What's up?
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here.
You got it.
Yeah. Tell me more. How is Hamilton? You're in Hamilton in Chicago. What?
Yeah, I mean it's like the dream come true of every musical theater or theater acting person ever. To do something like this is why you start. It's why you dream of these kind of things, just to happen to have been the guy that was the right person at the right time. It's kind of surreal,
Yeah.
2 years ago I was a fan of the show just like everyone else, begging my friends if I can get tickets, and the idea that this was even a sort of possibility wasn't even in my way of thinking. And then 3 weeks of auditions, and all of a sudden my life completely changes, and I get to do this thing every night and be part of this movement that this show is. It's pretty phenomenal. It's a pretty amazing thing to be part of. And every once in a while I'll stand out on stage and start saying my shot and thinking how many kids' lives have been affected by this, and how it has reached out to so many people that just little me gets up being up there doing this thing. It's a pretty amazing feeling. So cool. I'm gonna soak it up for everything it's worth.
That's amazing. And you made your Broadway debut in American Idiot, correct?
Kind of. I actually made my Broadway debut in the 25th annual Putnam County.
Oh, amazing. Okay, cool.
I was Chip Tolentino.
Yeah.
But I was a replacement. So they had already been running for 3 years. I did the first national tour, and anyone who's ever been in a replacement in a long-running Broadway show knows that it's my debut, and I was all excited, ready to go. Hey, everybody! And it was everyone. It was.
We're just like, it's another day.
Welcome to the show. You stand over there, go. So it was kind of. It wasn't quite the fanfare that I felt inside.
Yeah.
Everyone else had already done it. So American Idiot was really the kind of. We all started together. We did the workshops, and it was this big red carpet. Just so happened we performed on the Grammys and Monday Night Football with Green Day, and we were hanging out with Green Day. So I don't think every Broadway show gets those kind of things to talk about, but that just happened to be the one that we started with, and that was pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, you're kind of mentioning how Hamilton has been such. I mean, it's too much to say this word, but like a revolutionary musical for so many people, and it's really kind of brought them to theater. What was the show for you that really you heard the cast recording, and you were like, boom, yes, this is what I want to do?
I mean, I kind of knew what musical theater was as a kid, but it really wasn't. It was the PBS recording of Into the Woods with Bernadette Peters, and somehow it ended up on a VCR. It's how we used to play movies back in the old days.
What? Do you guys remember that?
VCR. But my mom it was this in my house, and so we would watch it, and I just thought it was Jack, Jack and the Beanstalk. He was up there singing this cool song on this cool stage and all this stuff. I thought, what an amazing thing that is. That's I'd like to do that. I think that would be cool to do. And sort of that was the really beginning of an idea that this was something cool that people do.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that guy was probably 25 years old. And I was 8. Thinking, I could do that. But it was sort of began to plant a little seed that there's something there, that there's something cool to do, as just like a life choice, but also as a career.
Yeah.
You don't think about those as when you're 8 years old. You don't think about your career so much.
Yes, not so much. So someone was asking, where are we right now? Y'all, we are in the Private Bank Theater in Chicago. We are actually here. It's actually 4:07 our time, Central Time. So thank you so much for spending part of your day with us.
Of course.
So yeah, we're in the theater right now, which is crazy, and this like beautiful VIP suite.
Yeah, this is where the hoity-toities hang out. This is where you go for the fancy meet and greets and all that.
Yeah. So Joanne is asking, what is your favorite thing about living in Chicago?
I don't know who's watching this, but unlike New York, we live sort of outside of downtown, so we kind of live in a house in a little neighborhood, but it's not so far that it feels like we are in a whole nother.
Yeah.
I can go
like
home.
Another state.
Like another
in
state.
New Jersey.
I live. Hey,
Yeah.
I love New Jersey. I live in Maplewood. My house is in Maplewood. So there, when you leave your house, you leave the state, and you go to New York. Here, we sort of go down the road a little ways, and it feels like we are in a different place. So being in Chicago feels like we're in a big city. It's a great city. You get all the cool things about being in a city, but there's also the things of you can sort of step away from the city without going too far, which is an amazing thing for my family and my kids.
Yeah.
So and it's clean. The streets are clean. There's the sidewalks they very rarely have big piles of trash on them. So it's a pretty cool town.
It's a pretty cool town. We always get this question literally every single day on Live at 5.
Yeah.
Any onstage mishaps you can share with us? Because Hamilton is a big show.
Yes.
There are lots of flying
Yes.
things everywhere.
The best one.
Okay.
The best one. All
The
right.
best
So okay, how much space do we have? Right. So
we can
right.
make it wide.
Right, so
we can go crazy.
So it's okay. I'll do it
Okay.
right here. So he says, how's the thing at the end of the thing? I go, raise a glass to freedom. He says, he aims his pistol at the sky. Wait. No gunshot.
Oh no.
No sound. I'm standing there. I don't know what to do. I kind of instinctively throw my arm up because it's what I'm supposed to do. But the gunshot didn't happen. The music kind of halfway went, and so I kind of halfway went down. I went down. The gunshot went off, and of course I'm hiding my head under my cloak. And everyone doesn't know what to do. It was pretty terrifying.
Oh, no.
After the fact, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But in the moment, instinct takes over. But I'm listening for the gunshot because I'm supposed to listen for it before I die. But it was hilarious and terrifying.
Oh no.
And of course, every once in a while,
Yeah.
there's all.
This is a quick show, so
you don't have a whole lot of time to remember those things and B, do anything about it because the next thing happens. The other day, Chris Lafayette Jefferson, Chris Lee, we were in We Know, and there's a line he says, though virtue is not a word, I'd apply to the situation, right? So I looked up at him, ready for him to give it to me, and he says, situation. And I looked at him and I went, yep, that's what happened. That just happened. But you keep going. You got to keep going. Try to keep it together. The other day, the turntable went the wrong way. There was a cue mix, so I'm supposed to be moving forward, and instead I moved backwards. And I was like, I sort of had to figure out how to adjust my body. But those are the cool things. And of course, you hear after the fact people say, "Oh, that thing that happened," So it's a once in a lifetime.
It's part of live theater.
Part of live theater. That's why it's so cool because anything like that can happen. You sort of see how we adjust. But that's what always keeps it fresh and keeps it exciting.
That's awesome. David has said he has seen
What's up,
Miguel
David?
3 times as Alexander,
3 times.
and you have stage door every single time.
Yep.
Do you have any favorite stage door experiences or gifts you've gotten from fans?
I've got this cool painting. I've got to put it online. I've got to put it on this really cool oil painting. It's the real deal that this guy sent me. I mean, it's pretty amazing. But it really just the stage door is a cool way to see people, when to hear how they are moved or how they feel. So many people are just they don't really know what to say. It's they thank me for being part of something like this, and that's kind of the cool thing. There's been kisses and hugs and tackles and stuff like that, and that's all just part of the fun of it. But I signed someone's arm yesterday, I think. But it's just cool to see people and feel how moved they are by the whole thing.
Kate wants to know, she saw the show last night and you killed it.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you very much.
How has your stature ever held you back as a performer?
Very good question. It's funny because I think of that all the time as an actor, as a guy, as a person in life living at a certain height. You sort of are aware of different, and I'll never say limitations, but just different aspects of having yourself being a certain height. In my situation personally, I've always had to sort of be younger, because
Yeah.
I'm a smaller guy. So most of the times, younger is where I have to live. The cool thing about this show is that I have to be younger, and then I have to be older.
Yeah.
So I get to sort of play both sides, and I use my height to my advantage to play the younger guy, and then I have to sort of be, I'm not quite as younger a guy as you may think, but to sort of play against, and then so all the Washingtons are huge, and I think John's big, all the understages are huge. So to be my height and play against that for this, I think works amazing.
Beautifully, yeah.
So maybe in some aspects of life or some shows, I'll never play the tall, dark, and handsome leading man, but I guess I didn't need that. I didn't need that for his,
yeah.
so I'll take it, right?
Your question is the tall, dark, and handsome leading man of that.
And the tall, dark, not as tall, dark, handsome leading man. She said it. I didn't say it.
Jen wants to know, how do you keep your energy up for the entire show? Because this is a long, high energy show.
The short answer is that I have to.
Yeah.
I'm required to. So it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter sort of what my day was like, if I'm sleepy, if I'm a little bit sick, whatever. These people have heard about Hamilton. They are excited to see Hamilton. Some of them may never see it again, may not. This is their one shot to do it. So I have to rise to the occasion every night without saying, I'm so tired. The good thing about it is that there's very little time for me to sort of think about being tired, because it sort of keeps going. But the material's great. To be able to get up there and do this makes it easier to like American Idiot. I remember American Idiot, we were always so tired, but the music would start and you go and you sort of you're out of a can and you don't have time to think. It's a lot of the same thing here. You go, and once you start, you're on the train, and that allows me to sort of ride the wave and keep my energy up. And before I know it, we're in hurricane, and all of a sudden the show's almost over, and it's without saying it's easy, it's not having the energy is not a whole lot of work.
David is also asking, how's your little girl, if you have any updates?
You know what? She's great. She's
That's
great.
awesome.
The thing about epilepsy is you really kind of never know, or at least in our situation, you never know what kind of a day you're going to get. Some days it's good days, some days it's not so good days. We've had a lot of good days recently, and I don't know if you've heard me say this, or my wife say this a lot. She says, we deal in inch stones and not milestones.
Yeah.
Yesterday she smiled 4 times. And you may think, wow, 4 whole times, and I'm thinking 4 whole times.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the life that we are in, and so those little things are amazing. And so we're seeing little things like that, and we have a big. We're working with the Cure Epilepsy people here in Chicago for their big gala on May 15th is coming up. So we're the cast is where I'll be going to help out to do some stuff with them. And
that's awesome.
So thanks, David. She's doing very well. Thank you. We're staying in there.
Thank you. And then I have a couple more questions.
Sure.
He has to go, do a giant show. But a common question we get almost every single day, including today, is, do you have any advice for young performers? Because I feel like I'm sure you offer either the same advice you give at the stage door, or things that you just learned along your way.
Yeah, what I've learned sort of with Hamilton, getting this show sort of much, and I've done a few Broadway shows, but nothing, they were spread out. It wasn't back to back to back to back like some people think. Oh, you get one Broadway show, you're in. It's not quite how it works, or at least not in my case, So the advice that I have is, opportunity comes when it comes.
Yeah.
It comes when it's ready, and it comes at the point that it decides to come. So you have to be ready, you have to be prepared, and be patient.
Yeah.
So that you're ready to seize the opportunity when it comes, because it could come when you're, like Justice Moore in our show. She's 19. She got her opportunity.
Yeah.
I did not. I'm 40, and I'm now sort of getting to be in this thing. I'm riding this ride. So it is an unknown entity of when your shot may come, but you just have to be ready and prepared and patient, and then it'll hopefully. And then even then, there's no guarantee, but you can all you can do is your best.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us today. Everyone, get in Chicago to see Miguel in Hamilton. Tickets are on sale through January.
And don't forget one thing, Monday the 3rd, in 3 days, 2 days, if you're in Chicago, the ACLU benefit is happening. My wife Kelly and Ari, Eliza Hamilton, my onstage wife and my real life wife, have been working together really hard with the ACLU to put on this amazing concert. We're all going to do a few ditties, some of us in the show, so it's going to be a cool night. So
cool. And where can they get tickets for that?
The Numbers Project. Take a look. The ACLU website is there at thenumbersproject.com. There is where all the tickets can come, and check out some social media feeds. To be more specific, my wife's going to kill me because I don't know exactly the website, but it's in there somewhere, I promise.
Cool. Well, thank you so much.
Of course, thank you very much. Thank you.
Check out that event coming up. Check out Hamilton in Chicago because it's going to be here as long as you guys want it. And we're going to be back in New York on Monday, so thanks for tuning in. Bye.